Hey, welcome back to another Let Loose Dog Talk. Hey, today we got a special guest, but first of all, we got Gabriel with GAM American Bulldog, my co-host. But our special guest today is Aurea from Samba Kennels. How's it going, Aurea?
Hi, Dennis. Hi, Gabriel. Thank you so much for inviting me to be here tonight. I'm doing great. I couldn't ask for more. I'm very happy. Busy, busy. I like being busy, and I'm super happy to be live with you guys tonight. I'm sure it's going to be a great live.
No, thank you.
Thank
No,
you.
thank you for being here, definitely. And we know how hard it is to when you on your personal life, and then we have these dogs, and hey, they take a lot of part of our lives as well,
For sure. That's how it should be.
right? Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we will be complete if you didn't have a dog in your life.
For sure. Yes, 100%. It's once you have a dog in your life, you never can not have a dog in your life.
Yes, true.
Exactly.
So, Aria, tell us what's a Brazilian bull for our audience. We're American Bulldog breeders. Some have an idea, but some still question what it is. Something it's an American Bully XL, but that's a different type of dog, right?
Yes and no. I would say that the concept of the two breeds are pretty much the same.
Okay.
Okay. They started with the same concept, with the same idea back in the days. I believe that every every XL American Bully lover and every Brazilian Bull lover has the same passion for bigger dogs, of course, the size and the presence of these dogs, they are pretty much what everybody's looking for. The presence, the docility, because are not functional dogs. They're just, their function is to be the most loving and loyal family pet. Aside,
Okay.
they would have amazing muscles and they're stunning. And that's so this is what I understand the concept of the breed is. um, of both breeds is the same concept.
Okay.
What differentiates the two breeds nowadays is the vision and the selection that it was taken by different gene pools, by different traditions. I think it's very cultural too, and we're going to talk about it a little bit. Am I hearing a little bit of an echo? You guys?
You sound good. I don't know, Gabriel. Can you hear a little echo?
No, on my side, it seems like we're pretty good.
Yeah, you
Okay.
sound good,
Is
Aria.
anybody in the audience listening to echo when I speak? Let me see. Let me try to turn my
Anybody in the chat?
Yeah,
yeah. If
anybody in the
anybody,
chat, let us know.
okay. Just want to make sure that. Hello, Didi. Hi, everyone. Hey, everybody that's jumping on. Thank you for being here.
No, yes, definitely. Thank you guys. Okay, yeah, so it's minor, they said.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
So basically, the concept of the two breeds are the same, and what happened is what made them different was the selection. And I do believe that the gene pool too, even though a lot of people says, oh, they have the same background. And I see so many people I should call them haters, but they're not haters, they're just uneducated, I would say,
yes, yes, I
or
agree.
lack of education on this breed. So they go, oh, these breeds are just the same, and they're not. They're what makes a breed at the end of the day is not just the breeds that formed it. We have several breeds that were formed with the same breeds in the background, many, many years ago. But once you select traits for the phenotype, because a breed is not genotype, that's what people must understand.
True.
The breed is not a geno. What makes a breed is genotype and phenotype. And what's a phenotype is demand when it's not a function.
Yeah.
You know, when it's not a functional dog, what determines a breed is the demand for those traits. So in Brazil, and this is very curious, that in Brazil we have this culture of, beach. We have a huge coastline from north to south, and I do hear myself. I don't know where it is from, but I am hearing myself a little bit. Um, we do have this.
If it's your phone, maybe just lower the volume on the phone. If you
I'm on my
No?
desktop,
Okay.
and yeah, I don't know why, but it's okay. It's not really bad. I just want to make sure that nobody's hearing it. We can hear there's a small echo, but it's not bad. Yeah, I think it's the same one that I'm hearing when I speak. So this is very, very important, okay? In Brazil, we have this huge coastline of, I don't know how many thousands of miles of beaches. And the weather in Brazil is very good most of the time. Like instead of having 6 months of winter, or 3 months of summer and 3 months of, we have like most of the coastline, we have around 9 months of really good weather. Really good weather. Right now it's winter time there, and my daughter is there. She's going to the beach.
Okay. Yeah.
So, and this is very curious. It's something that I've never talked so deeply about this history in any other podcast. But the culture of the beach is very popular. Everybody goes to the beach. Everybody that lives towards the coast, and if they don't have beach where they live, that's what they do on the weekends and holidays.
Okay.
So when you have a culture of beach and sun and good weather, people expose their bodies a lot more. This is why Brazil has the culture of having people always in tiny bikinis, and the men are very, muscular,
Muscular, yes.
and the ladies have beautiful bodies because of this cultural habits of going to the beach and exposing to the sun or going to the pool because of good weather. And when you culture that a lot, and when you idolize that a lot, you want the dogs to be looking just as good as you are.
Yes.
So these skaters and these surfers and these MMA fighters, jiu-jitsu fighters, they love dogs, and they want to have a dog that resembles what they are.
Yeah.
That's where they started selecting dogs with more muscular look. And pit bulls were really, really big in the 90s there. They were really big in the 90s. And that's exactly when they started selecting these dogs to be bigger. So they started selecting the bigger pit bulls. And once they started selecting the bigger pit bulls, they noticed that there was a lot of demand, and the breeders that were selling the pit bulls that are bigger were starting to sell a lot more than the little functional pit bulls that were, 60 pounds or 70 pounds. And now all of a sudden these 90-pound dogs started being a fever amongst these little tribes of people that are young and that are surfers, that are athletes, or that are fighters, especially within the athlete community. So they started selecting this breed, and some people imported some bloodlines from America, and either some bloodlines from America, some of them from Europe, but most of the times they worked with terrier breeds, and they just selected terrier dogs. Instead of aiming for bone or fat or size and height, they wanted muscles, and they wanted a dog with a face of a powerful dog and crazy looking. They wanted a huge pit bull, almost like what the Excel people wanted, but the selection was a little different. The vision was a little different. And always preserving the muscle tone, because these guys, they were all, athletes. These girls were going to the beach, and they wanted to have the same resembling bodies as themselves. So I guess that culture, and I'm not saying that everybody's like that. We have amazing breeders of a whole bunch of types of breeds that are not with those traits. We have all of the breeds in Brazil, and they are very popular too. But nothing became as popular as the American Pit Bull Terriers in the 90s, and then the larger animals around the early 2000s. And that's when the selection for them to get bigger and better and more muscular dogs started, without introducing mastiff breeds.
I see. So, Aria, how many breeds were introduced to create the Brazilian bull?
Okay. Initially was just the American Pit Bull Terrier.
Okay.
Initially, okay, because we also have different locations in Brazil, and these different locations, they had different imports and different little gene pools everywhere. In the south of Brazil, some people used American Bullies pockets because there was a female imported with Dax, which is a very popular American Bully, a pocket American Bully. It was a gaudy line Dax, pregnant female. So they selected those pit bulls that came from Camelots and Chevy line. But mind you, the some of the dogs that were imported into Brazil, and we're talking in the early 2000s, of these Chevy lines and the red lines, here they had some mastiff already.
Okay.
But when he got there, they didn't want to work with those lines because they knew what was going to happen. Maybe someone did, maybe a couple of breeders might have tested it, but the results wasn't what they were looking for. They were looking to really express the muscle tone and the muscle quality of those dogs. So basically, the American Pit Bull Terrier in the South, they did American Bully breeding pockets that brought the height down, but it brought the extreme features.
Wider, yeah.
Yes. And from those dogs that I actually have, it's more of the Klaus bloodline. You guys know my dogs?
Let me put Klaus up here so they can see who
Klaus
he
is
is.
this one here. Yes, the fawn, the black nose. This one that you see right here behind me.
Yeah, he's like the black and the.
Oh, come on. It's hard to tell. This one right here.
Is it him?
Yes, that's Klaus.
Okay.
So can you scroll a little bit and try to see if there's a picture of his body, because it's important to talk about him. He's more of the old school pit bull.
Okay.
And he has features that are more old school. The modern Brazilian bull that we're going to talk about, they already have the insertion of the American bulldogs and the oldies, or the American and oldies, on them. So Klaus, if you look at him, he actually resembles an American Bully pocket, very much so,
Yeah, just larger.
Yes, I see.
Yes, he's breed type for the American Bully, I think, and that's why I believe that's why he got so famous here.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was really famous when he came here. He was like extraordinary how much Klaus caught everybody's attention, because he was really, really popular because he looked like a pocket. you know.
Yeah, no, definitely. Aria was the bulldog I don't know if I'm saying it right. Campeiro.
Pero,
Yeah, used into creating the
not that I
Brazilian
know
bull.
of.
Not
No, not that
okay.
I know of. No. The thing was, they used only the pit bulls, and they were using selection of pit bulls, or they said that for some time. But then at one point, Beatrice, you guys know
Yes.
IBC's Beatrice
Yes.
Sunshine Bulls.
Yes.
She was doing a very excellent work with her bulldogs and selecting for temperament. As you know, probably her bulldogs are bully type.
Yes.
They are bigger than normal. It's probably bigger than the standard. Those things are huge. I mean, huge. They look. If you look at them, you're gonna think that they are 200 pounds. They are
Yeah.
not, but they are almost like it. You know. And she was selecting for temperament, and she was selecting for health. So she was health testing. She was, she had some really popular studs. And at one point, one breeder asked her, I don't really know the story well, but to collab on a breeding with her with a pit monster
Mm.
in her male, and the results were phenomenal, phenomenal. So they understood that they were getting with that mixing the results that they have been trying to get along many years. They got it in one generation.
Oh
Mm.
wow.
F1s, you know.
Yeah.
That's when they understood, and she already was, ahead of the registry and understanding, because she is a I call it a cynophilist, which means an expert in dog breeding. And she, with her team, decided that, hey, this is what the people were going crazy for these puppies, and everybody started using a new iron for those breedings, and the results were very consistent, very consistent. Yes.
Yeah,
So
definitely her bulldogs are one of the best out there.
yes, I mean, for that type of for that purpose, I think that other there's no other better there's no better individual to bring those traits that they were looking for.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, absolutely. So the acceptance was very good for the bulldogs, and that's when people started using them, and the thing just blew up. Really. And they said, hey, this is a new breed, we have to create a standard. And IBC created a standard for the pit monster at that time. And there was just breeders changing breeds to start breeding pit monsters. The demand was huge. The acceptance of the pet people, the buyers, was amazing. And these dogs were looking better, and they were more docile, especially when you added her bulldogs to bring down that temperament, because the Camelots and the Kenshins, that's a bloodline that was in Brazil at that time for the American Pit Bull Terriers, they were pretty spicy. They were spicy dogs.
Yeah.
So they needed to bring down that temperament a little bit, and the bulldog did that with honors. Like he did really well. Not only the physical traits that he added to them, but also the temperament. But mind you, they were opening the stud books for a breed that was starting and that needed those traits, and the market just accepted so well that that's what they wanted. Now there are some purists, like in every breed, that were totally against adding the bulldogs. No, because the pit monster is a pit bull, and it's just the largest form of a pit bull. and this and that, and until to this day, there's people that are not very accepting of the American Bulldogs in the breed. There was a lot of paper hanging in the beginning that we know of, people using bulldogs, buying bulldogs from her or studs from her, and all of a
Mm.
sudden the females, oh, she died or she didn't take, and then a year later there's a whole bunch of dogs that look exactly like her.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that
That's
happened.
that's the stuff nobody talks about or likes to say, right? But you kind of want to know that that's happening or happened somewhere.
Well, it's all allegedly, like, we have to say that,
Yeah.
right? So,
Yeah.
but in Brazil, everybody talks about it because everybody knows it was very explicit, and especially because color genetics were not very studied over there, because there was no laboratories to do testing at that time. And but people that understand colors. You don't need sometimes you don't even need a lab. And there were results that were impossible to be and stuff like that, but it's not just about the colors. The phenotype was like, it was amazing how some of them, and people that used the bulldogs, and they just told her, oh, hey, she didn't take, it's explicit in the
yeah.
history of the, but that was many, many years ago.
Yeah.
So Aria, the dogs like Sheik, and then are there F2s, F3s,
Say that again.
like Sheik, what's the other dog? Klaus,
Mandibula.
Mandibula. Are they
Klaus is an F something, but
okay?
not from Bulldog. He doesn't have any Bulldog in his blood. He
Okay,
has American Bully from Dax, but it's like fifth or sixth generation. So
way in the back.
he's not considered. But if you look behind his pedigree, in the third generation, there's like American Pit Bull Terrier. There's one female that I don't even think she has papers, but we knew who she was, and she was an American Pit Bull Terrier. Not that she didn't have papers, but they had a fight, and breeders fight, and the guy
Correct.
didn't give them the papers, so there's a blank space there, but we traced and we mapped and we know what it is, and she was an American Pit Bull Terrier. So that's
Uh,
why he throws that look. Sometimes he throws those terrier faces in the first generation, but then in the second generation it changes everything.
Yeah. No, and my question to that is because I'm very impressed how whether the consistency of that look that the Brazilian bull is, it's there. And
In so
and
little time.
yes, and they could produce it. That to me is amazing because you know they've tried doing F1s, F2s, different breeds, but you never get that consistency. You might get
Right.
one or two, but what I'm seeing from the Brazilian bull is that consistency is there.
Well, um the thing is, we know that the gene pool in Brazil was a lot more limited. Even though there's a lot of outcrossing, whatever was outcrossed here was outcrossed there. So the individuals end up being very similar. And because of the vision and the selection of these breeders, they all knew what they wanted, and most of them wanted the same style of dog. They wanted, the face very tight skin, the eyes looking very, Chinese, and almond eyes. We say Chinese, but it's like almond eyes,
Yes.
making those crazy faces, although they are big hearted dogs.
Yeah, that's a lot too. I think that separates them, the bully. Yeah, I mean, it's just the selection, right? You have something and you have to make those choices and those decisions and stay true to, well, I guess the long-term vision, right? But it seems like the selection is going to get you there quicker.
The selection, the vision and the gene pool too. Because if you're using, uh, like I always said, the individuals there are very limited and they're very related, even though if you're using the bulldogs, they're very selected and they're very well selected by Beatrice and her team. And she has a bloodline already, consistent looking bloodline. And then on the other side of the old pit monsters, you always have a very limited, you also have a very limited gene pool, meaning that if you breed them together, or if you breed each, breed together, like Beatrice produces consistent look, even if you don't use her dogs, those dogs are consistent within their looks. But then when you're breeding together, even if you use different individuals from these two bloodlines, you're getting same results.
They're
You know,
pretty potent on both
yes,
lines.
sort of say,
Yeah.
of course not the
Yeah.
same, but similar results.
Oh, awesome. So the temperament of the Brazilian bull, Aria, is it a temperament that you could say it's a family oriented dog where he looks intimidated, they see him behind the yard, and somebody that's trying to break in, they'll think about it twice, like, no, I don't think I'm going in there. But you could have them with family kids around. How's their
Oh yeah,
temperament?
amazing. They are amazing, especially the newer generation. Like I said, the early pit monsters, they could be a little spicy. Um, we had one specific bloodline that there was some dogs that had to be put down in the beginning. We're talking like 20 years ago, 15 years ago. And that's when they started adding the American Bulldogs from Beatrice, because they were known for being very health tested and also very sweet temperament. They were not working dogs in the Bulldog lines. That's your American Bulldog lines. I'm sure you guys know that. So um, they also have stamina. They have, they're very um, resistant to weather, tolerant to weather, tolerant to exercising. So they will be a good guardian by just like, how do I say, it's not their function, but they end up being good guardians just because they will look scary for whoever tries to
Yeah.
enter the house, Um, but yeah.
So their breathing must.
Sorry, I have a dog here and he's
No,
trying.
no worries.
Sorry, go ahead.
No. So my question was gonna be, so their breathing, it's pretty well, especially if they're being bred in Brazil. Brazil gets hot too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Humid. So I'm assuming their breathing it's
And no
pretty
air
good.
conditioning there.
See, yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
No
Because
climate. It's very expensive to have a climatized home in Brazil. So not only you don't have air conditioning, you also don't have heating. So the dogs usually stay outside. And you see all these dogs that come to me, they come with calluses in their elbows and knees, and that's because they usually stay in concrete. People are they're dog people. They
yes,
know
yes,
dogs who stay, if the weather allows. Why am my dog going to be inside? Because a dog is a dog. They do better in nature. They do better being distracted by birds, by trees and the wind and the breeze. They need to exercise their noses. They need to exercise their tailwind.
yes.
It's nature, and dogs are meant to be dogs. And even though, me included, we spoil them and we want to have them in the house, they're much happier outside. You know. And they love to be outside, but they also don't have the culture of putting little cushion mattresses for their babies to sleep. So they sleep on the freaking floor, especially because
Yeah.
it's so hot.
yeah.
And, 120-pound dog, 150-pound dog sleeping on a concrete floor, because everything in Brazil is more like concrete than it is here. Apparently here, concrete is so expensive. I know, because I just built
Yeah, yeah.
So they will have calluses, because they are treated like dogs. They are not. They're old school over there.
Yeah.
Now they're starting to change a little bit. The access to information and to the internet and Instagram and Facebook, they have access to what people are doing in countries that are climate. There must be climate control, like America, like Europe. If you go to Russia, I've been to Russia multiple times, and they are amazing dog people. But most of them have their dogs, breeders have their dogs, show dogs in apartments. And
Mm.
imagine, sometimes you have like 3, 4 dogs, 5 dogs, and they take the best care. The Russians take the best care of their dogs. It's amazing to see. And sometimes it's like minus 20 degrees outside, blizzard, raining, cold, and they have to take each one of their dogs, three,
Yeah.
4 times a day. So we are spoiled in Brazil. We don't have weather issues like the rest of the world.
Aria, you know that dog, Big John?
Of course I do.
Does he come from one of, I don't know. I know you worked with him before, the breeder that made Big John, because he's here in the States now, right? Big John.
Edgar, no, Big John is a F1,
Oh,
meaning
okay.
he's the first filiation of two breeds, which was a Brazilian bull with an American bulldog.
Oh, okay.
So, and he's amazing. He's amazing. I think that Big John is a great representative of the breed, even though he's still an F1, but he's an F1 that doesn't look like an F1.
True. Yeah.
I mean, he's very hyper type. I don't think he's also I don't think that he is exactly what the breed standard still requires, but he's the tool that you need to produce breed standard. He is
Mm.
a tool. He is a hyper type dog, meaning that he's extreme. He's the extreme type. I just think that his muzzle, if he was a little more triangular, maybe, and he was a little longer in the body, that's what the extreme requires. But as a judge, I look at the standard, but as a breeder, I look at the individual as a tool.
Oh,
And
I
Big John
see.
is an amazing tool. Yeah.
So, Aria, from your dogs that you have, do you see any of the Brazilian Bulls' final product in one of them?
Oh yeah, many of them. Many
Awesome.
of them. Um, we just showed in South Carolina 5 Brazilian bulls, and one of my production females won best of breed in all of them, because she is a final product. I think she's not even ready yet. She's only 15 months, you guys.
Oh,
Smoke.
wow, she's young.
She's beautiful. Shout out to Didi and Tony from Samba Kennel's Red River. They're watching us, and they are the owners of Smoke. Didi was there. She sent me a message here. So I have Puma. Puma is an amazing Brazilian bull. He is an F3, and he's an all-black dog, which is even more fantastic because he has no white chest. He has a little bit of a white spot on his belly, but if you look at him, he's complete black, which is rare for any dog of the bully breeds.
Is this him?
Yes, that's
Oh,
Yeah, I
him.
seen
yeah.
a video, and then there's I think it's like a chocolate dog. They're like getting wet or something.
Mhm.
Bucanas, I think.
Bucanas, that's it.
Yeah,
So
crazy.
Puma is a little shorter in body, and he has a little bit longer lips that I would like, but by the standard, it's acceptable. I think he fits and he was very young there. He was under 1 year old there, I think.
Mm.
And now he is a year and a half, almost 2 years old. No, he's going to be 2 years old the next month. No, what's the date today?
29th July.
2 days. It's his birthday, 2 years old. July 31st.
Oh wow!
Puma's birthday, you guys. Let's
Ambo.
say happy birthday to him in
Ha-
two days.
in
There
two
you
days.
go.
So
Happy
yeah,
early birthday. What's the maturity, like the full grown? What are we talking? 2, 3, 4
four,
years? 4
4
years?
years. I think 4 years is
Dang.
when they reach their peak. They're very late growing, and look at Shake. Shake is
Yeah.
like still popping. You know, he's not even 4 yet, and he's still popping.
That's fun. It's got to be fun, right? To like year 2, year 3, and they're still,
No, you know what?
popping
It's
and
even
getting some
more fun.
changes.
When I
What's
started
that?
breeding them, when I started breeding them and bringing them here, I had a lot of hate, of course. Who is this Brazilian woman that comes here and start bringing all these dogs and start taking over? You know, like, and I'm like, guys, this is for the community, because for me, my goal at that time was to provide this good genetics to the American bullies. You know, and I didn't even understand this breed as I do now. And today I'm like, no, this is ours. I'm
Yeah.
not sharing, you know, in a good way, of course. It's just because I am for the preservation of the traits and preservation of the breed. I think that the XLs can benefit very well to the Brazilian bulls, and the Brazilian bulls could benefit very well from American Bully XL traits. But if you keep breeding them together, you don't get the best of the both worlds. You know, you're gonna end up watering down, like I always say, you water down the traits that makes them unique.
Yeah.
So, and I did it for 4 years. I'm talking from experience. I'm not talking from pride. I was the one that used to bring them here and want to do all these breedings together. And when I realized that when you breed two Brazilian bulls together, the results are so much more beautiful. Look at the Brazilian bulls that we just took to the show. The consistent look. I have I had three shaken Buchanan's daughter. I had one tractor and Hannah's son, three shaken Buchanan's kids, one tractor son, and then I had one XL that is a shake son, and he remained as an XL because I decided that he didn't need to be transferred to Brazilian bulls, because we had the opportunity to transfer some dogs to Brazilian bulls as long as they fit the ABKC criteria. And Sultan, he's my blue tri shake son. I think there's a video of him just now. If you look at him, he's 2/3 Brazilian. His mom is half American and half Klaus.
Wow.
But because Klaus has more American bully influence, more than no American bulldog and more American bully, he looks more on the bully side.
Yeah.
And then Shake has some American bully. So at the end of the day, Sultan, his ancestry is 3/4, but if you think of him genetically, he's almost half and half.
Yeah.
But for me, like I always say, when you're talking at is a breeding formation, you shouldn't just look at the ancestry. You have to look at the phenotype. We're still forming this breed. So I believe that Sultan is a better representative of the American XL bully than he is of a Brazilian bull. Maybe he will change in 2 years because he will keep
Yeah.
pop. Or maybe he's going to be a fantastic XL American bully, which I believe he's already a better American bully than most of the ones I've seen or that I've produced. Can you search him?
Is he like a blue? What
He's a blue tri.
blue try? Huh? Oh, okay. Yeah, I do see
Let me
a
see.
video of him.
Oh, okay.
He
I
has,
think I
and he already has the best top line and the best
is this him?
rear angulation. Yes, that's him. That's
Yeah.
not even a very good picture of him, but he has the best top line, short back, straight feet, balanced body that I've ever seen on an XL. And he just won 2 times best XL, 2 times best male in a show with like 10 XLs at least.
Wow.
That guy's cool.
I was looking at I think the female you mentioned earlier, her structure is flawless. I really like it, Aria? Is it here?
Yes, that's my production from Shake and
Yes.
Buchanan. And you see, but listen, those two dogs are flawless, okay? Structurally, and I'm talking technically, I'm not talking taste. You might not like them, or you might like one or the other better, but technically, as a judge, if you look them side by side, they are almost flawless when it comes to conformation. But she's very different than him, and they have the same father, but
Wow.
one, the mom is more American, and this one is 100% Brazilian.
Okay.
So they don't even look siblings, or have siblings.
Yeah.
So this is where you see the power of breeding Brazilian bull to Brazilian bull instead of mixing them up.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Is the crop ears part of the standard, or is just preferable wherever you like?
It is preferable. Unfortunately, in Brazil, there is a rule that veterinarians can be punished if they're caught cropping ears.
Mm,
Veterinarians is a rule against them. So some breeders will do it, but also they cannot do it. But at least they don't have anything to lose unless they pay a fine.
Mm.
Now, a veterinarian, if they're caught, they lose their license. So everybody really stopped cropping ears with vets. Nowadays, they crop with, I crop ears if I have to. Um, but it's a bad situation because in Brazil, everybody loves the ear cropped, but eventually you will see full, long ears.
long ears. Yeah.
And they do have a standard for the ears too. I think that rose is preferred. I know the American Bully, the rose ear is preferred, or they have to fall erect to the side of the ear, of the head, something like that. I don't remember the standard for the Brazilian Bull ears right now, but they do have. But everybody prefers them cropped.
Oh, definitely. That changes. That's a game changer.
Yes, definitely. We
Yeah.
do have a question, Aria. I know somebody asked if Klaus is from the South region. Where is Sheik and Mandibula from?
Okay, Klaus himself was not from the south, but some individuals in his pedigree came from the south, from those breedings that came with Dax. And we're talking south, like not too extreme south, but around São Paulo and Curitiba, which is the state, Paraná, which is the state beside São Paulo. Now, Sheikh also from São Paulo, and that was a totally different vision. That's actually my vision with Lucas Pitt.
Okay.
No, I give that to Lucas because it's totally his vision, but I helped him by Sheikh's grandfather. He told me what he wanted and where he wanted to get. And I said, okay, I help you with what I can find here for you to get there. So I looked for a dog, and that's how I found King Wonka, which is the grandfather of Sheik. And it's also the litter-mate brother of my first XL, because we bought two
Okay.
dogs. I bought mine, and Lucas bought his with the same litter. I actually sold Lucas. I helped Lucas buy that dog, and he got first pick. And then the second pick boy was Chuck Norris, that he's also in the lineup here. He was left over, like nobody wanted him. And I didn't have that much money to buy a dog, but I really wanted an XL. And I saw that the guy dropped the price from 10 to 8 for this bully. So I called him because I used to do international transports, and I knew that breeder. I did a transport for him, and that's why I referred him to Lucas Pitt. And I said, hey, Justin, can you do me a discount on this puppy? He's already 5 months old and nobody wants him, and he's so cute. And I knew that King Wonka was growing very nicely in Brazil because he was there already for a couple of months. And he says, yes, I'll do him. I'll even give you a better discount. I think it was like 7,000 at that time. And that was Chuck, my baby Chuck.
Wow.
Chuck Norris.
Oh.
See,
I have him.
That-
We still have him. He's 6 years old. He's gorgeous. He's super young, super happy, healthy. He's still breeding, but he's only XL. I never. I actually did my first breeding with him was a Brazilian girl,
okay.
but it was a Brazilian girl more on the pit monster side. She didn't have any American Bulldog.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So that answered a lot of questions because somebody even said that the different regions explain a lot. As I research, I'm seeing multiple phenotypes of Brazilian bulls. I wanted to call them different bloodlines, but they're just different gene pools.
Yeah.
What would you say now that where the breed is at, or like the time coming? Is there a lot of people that are maybe claiming Brazilian bulls and they're like not actually?
What do you mean? Give me an example if you don't mind.
Like I see some people where they have maybe dogs and they say, oh, it's like an XL bully, and it's really not. Or they could say, oh, it could be an XL bully, and they say, oh, this is a Brazilian bull, but maybe because there's a Brazilian bull like 3 generations back, and they're like, we just are gonna run with this. And
Man, this is
or is
something
it?
that I'm so proud of saying. If it is a Brazilian bull, everybody already knows. And if somebody claims that it's a Brazilian bull and it's not, people are just gonna laugh, because that's the great thing about the Brazilian bulls. They've been here for so little time and they are already so recognizable.
Yeah.
That means consistent breed type. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's something to be really proud of, honestly, because to get a dog breed so consistent in so little time, with such a variety of breeds and such a variety of individuals, especially when you're out crossing, we're still with the stud books open. It's very honorable and admirable. And this is why I started bringing them, because I didn't like their look in the beginning. It was hard for me to see those faces I also thought their eyes are close together.
Yeah.
But then I started studying, and this is why I tell everyone, the minute that you get used to them, you never want to go back to anything else, because you just want to you end up loving it. You end up even overseeing the eyes close together, because it's actually not really the eyes close together. It's the excessive area of skin and muscles around the eyes. I did a joke once. I took a picture of Donald Trump, our president, and I did a Photoshop where I didn't touch this area and I just stretched his face.
Yeah.
And I said, American Trump, Brazilian Trump. Everybody laughed. He looked like his eyes was close together, but the measurement between the eyes were exactly the same. It's just an optical
Oh wow.
illusion. It is an optical illusion, really.
Well, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that, so I'm pretty sure there's a few
Yes.
people. Yeah, and those are the
Yeah.
things, when you're
Try that.
selecting.
Try that one day. Get any photo editor, get your picture, and without touching here, just from the skin, pull it out. You're gonna see you're gonna look like a Brazilian bull.
Nice.
We have another question Aurea here. It says, how often are the Brazilian bulls line breed?
How often they are what? Line bred?
Yes.
Oh, all the time. They breed them all the time, line bred, especially because like I said, our gene pool over there is still very small. So you outcross and then you line breed it, and you print the traits that you want, and then you open it again. And I think that we do have some bloodlines right now. As of today, we have some options more than they did in the beginning. But there's a lot of breedings that are like mother to son, father to daughter, inbreeding, like heavily inbreeding. They love to inbreed over there. But they did have a lot of line breeding too. I love line breedings. I worked with Dogo Argentino for 20 years, and that's how I got my best results, was with line breedings. I don't really like inbreeding too close. I think it's very, if you get something good, you're going to get something amazing, but you can also get a lot of bad shit with it. So I'd rather just do a line breeding than do an inbreeding.
Aria, on the health of the Brazilian bull, is there a specific health thing that you know, if you health test them, that you need to look for? Like you don't want that in your lines. It could
HUU,
HUU is one of them.
yes. And I think that comes from the American Bulldogs. So we are being very careful with them. Unfortunately, some of our dogs have it. So that's why I do embark all of my dogs. I'm not a embark super fan, but I think that it is a good tool. I don't take it as a Bible. And if I have a dog that is a carrier, or if I have a dog that is affected, I'm not going to say, oh my God, it's going to die
Yeah.
of this. And I can never breed them again. No, we just have to understand what our dogs have in order to breed them correctly.
True.
And this is how I got the results that I got, by balancing out traits, phenotypical traits, and health is also phenotype.
Yeah.
It's something that you have to watch for. It's a trait that's there, and if you understand how to trace it and avoid it, that's what you got to do to produce better dogs and healthier dogs.
That's awesome.
But
Here
AGUU is one that's being popping everywhere, so we have to be really careful.
Yeah, no, and I know that definitely it's probably from the American Bulldog, because we breed
High
American
incidence.
Bulldogs, and we know some lines that have it and stuff. And like you said, doesn't mean we can't breed them. You just gotta, be smart and know where how to breed it out.
Yes.
Here's this question to say: so a pit monster and a Brazilian bull are similar, just with AB added?
No, the Brazilian Bull and the Pit Monster are the same breed.
Oh, okay.
The Brazilian Bull is the modern name for the Pit Monster, because we needed to have the breed recognized internationally and accepted by other entities. But the thing is, Brazilian people don't speak English, they speak Portuguese. And for a lot of you that speak Spanish, you probably will relate to what I'm going to say. Or if you speak another language, when you speak a word in English, it sounds so fancy, and these guys were like at the beach with the girl, and oh, look at my pitch monster.
Yeah.
They talk like that. Look
Yeah.
at my pitch monster, gata. Look at this pitch monster. That's how they say it. So it's tasteful, it's juicy to say pitch monster. But they had no clue that it's a horrible name for a breed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Imagine the guy comes here to live in America, and they go to a HOA, and they're gonna talk to the manager, and oh, I have a dog. What is the breed? Pitch monster.
Yeah. Yeah, I see the point. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, that's
And everybody's gonna go, what? No, a pit monster? No. It's not allowed. We don't allow pit bulls, or the flights, airlines, they don't allow pit bulls. So
yeah, or monsters for sure.
are monsters. Imagine a pitch monster.
Yeah, no
So,
good.
so we decided that, and I was at that time I really wanted to bring the breeds separate, because that's when in the beginning I didn't want it, and actually TMK was mad at me because I was fighting to the separation of the breed. And I told him, and I said, bro, I've been doing this. It does not work to mix them together. You don't get the best results. And he says, no, but I just bought Big John, and I thought he was going to be an American Bully, and because he had the same mindset as me in the beginning. But now nowadays, I'm sure he's going to confirm with you guys, it's different. If you breed them together, you get a totally different results than if you keep opening the blood with American Bully, because the XLs here have too much more gene variety. And when you get the variety of genes, you get that, what I used to say, the blood shock, and Vito always laugh at me when I say that, but you get an explosion of genes, and sometimes it works amazing, and sometimes it just goes to
It's the
drain.
hybrid vigor.
Yes, exactly, the hybrid vigor. The
Oh.
mastiff. Kevin said the mastiff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, we see that. I know some people swear by that, right? Like hybrid vigor, or like that's how they breed and just outcrossing all the time. But
But
yeah,
answering
you don't always get
answering
the
that
best.
answer about that question about Brazilian Bull and Pit Monster, they are the same breed. We just changed the name, CJ Hernandez. We just changed the name to be able to be recognized by ABKC, because I had a good relationship with ABKC, and they told me, they said, you know, let's try. We're gonna have to separate the breed, and I said, if you do that, we have to do something. We either, because people were complaining that these dogs were coming here and they had mixes. Well, as if the American Bully doesn't, but
Yeah.
you know, they're not supposed to. So it's understandable. And these dogs were taking over where they are not supposed to be with the XLs. They were, you know, these dogs were catching a lot of attention. They got a lot of hate too. They got a lot of love too. But I just thought that, you know, it would be more substantially more important to have its own breed recognized by ABKC instead of mixing them together. In the beginning, it was going to hurt some pockets, and it was going to hurt some feelings. It hurt my pocket in the beginning. Well, not really, because I was the only one that had American Bully XLs registered. They were American Bully registered. But you know, TMK had just bought Big John, and he was denied to become an American Bully, and he was mad. And I said to him, and I said, bro, think of this. You are going to be the first Brazilian bull breeder in America. You've got the first market advantage, and you have a great stud. You just have to start building up. And nowadays he thanks me for that, because he said, you're right. You know, I was only seeing the cup half empty, and I was looking at the cup half full.
Yeah.
And then at one point, you know, I just realized so much that these genetics shouldn't be together, because they do better by themselves than together, that I said, I'm going to close all my studs. So all of my studs that are American Bully registered, but are Brazilian bulls, pure Brazilian bulls, they're closed to stud out for American Bully programs. They're open to the to the Brazilian Bull programs, not to the XL programs.
Well,
Nice.
With exception of Sultan.
okay.
Man, and I'm losing a lot of money now, and I don't care. I did it consciously. You know, everything that I made in the background, like 2 years ago, you know, that I've been making, I decided that for the breed, I would give in my studs, because I could be selling them. A lot of people ask me to use them with XL females, and I said, no, unless you breed them to register as Brazilian bulls, and then you're gonna have to go to IBC in Brazil, because ABKC won't do it here. And if they approve, because still it is not a certain thing. If you go to Brazil to register an F1 litter, you're gonna have to wait 1 year for them to approve the puppies.
Oh,
If they
wow.
are breed type, you get breeding papers. If they're not, you don't.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
but I think overall, I think it was a good thing that, you know, you separate both breeds, the American Bully with the Brazilian Bulls, because, you know, like you said, they're a little bit similar, but when they're in the ring, you're gonna be able to tell what's a Brazilian Bull and what's an
But we
American
were
Bull.
losing. Our females, Smoke was competing in the XL class, and she was getting second place. Everybody loved her, but the judges were telling the handler, she's a Brazilian Bull, she shouldn't be here. But this is what the papers that she has from ABKC. So we petitioned this, especially the Samba family members, because we were going through all of that. We petitioned to change all of our dogs that were Brazilian phenotype and Brazilian background and Brazilian genealogy to from Excel to Brazilian Bull. And they created some rules. ABKC said, okay, we're going to give you a period of time to do it. I think it was until July 1st. As long as they don't have any offspring and they don't have any siblings. No, the siblings was an exception. The offspring was more important. So I was able to register all of my puppies from Sheikh and Buchanas to American Bully, to Brazil, from American Bully to Brazilian Bully.
Oh,
And this is when Smoke, she had gone to the shows and she was always losing, even though the judges loved her. Because it's hard for a judge to put her to the front if she's not breed type. She might be perfect, structurized movement or whatever, beautiful dog and everything else, sound and healthy, but how do you justify to the other lineup of XLs that are with her, they're competing, that you're putting another breed to win over them? Maybe the judge even liked them better than the other individuals that were there at that time, but he cannot give it to her because she was not that breed. And I'm happy and I'm so thankful that ABKC gave us the opportunity to change all of our Brazilian bulls that were genetically and phenotypical to the breed to what they are. And the only one, you know, like I said, Sultan, well, he didn't qualify because he already had puppies. But even if he did, I would not ask for him to become a Brazilian bull because he's a perfect American bully.
nice.
Excel.
Let's see. Well, what other question? There's a question here, Ari. I don't know if you want to address it from Hector Vargas.
Yeah, sure.
Say, so why did Vito say there were no bulldogs in the breed? It's on your live. I don't know what.
Why did Vito say there were no bulldogs in the breed? It's on your live. What do you mean, Hector? There was. Can you please explain that?
Yeah.
When did he say that there were no bulldogs? Do you
Yeah, because
mean
you clearly said
back?
it. Yeah.
No, but I said it too. There were no bulldogs in the beginning. The bulldogs
Correct.
came later. Is that what you mean, Hector? You know, there was no
Oh,
there were no American bulldogs in the beginning of the breed.
Of the,
When
yeah.
they started, it was basically the American Pit Bull Terriers. I think that there were some American Staffordshires, some of it, and some of those from Dex line. Some of the strain of Dex, that those are American bullies. They're not American bulldogs, but American bullies has a little bit of bulldog in them, the pockets.
Yeah.
You know, but if you were talking about he said that there's no American bulldogs. Yes, there's no American bulldogs before the years 2010s, maybe. I think I might be wrong on that, but
Yeah.
if that's what Hector is asking.
Yeah. So in the beginning, there was no American Bulldog in the added to the
No,
breed. Okay.
no, not that we know of. At least it was not they didn't even look like American bulldogs. They looked like terriers. They were totally terriers. And the selection was very, very strict on muscle type and on size. So they were selecting for a little bigger because we are comparing to the original functional American Pit Bull Terriers, of course, you know.
Now, here's this another question. I guess what he's trying to ask is, he's like, do you guys think Brazilian bulls have anything to with that people? So I guess his
No.
question is people, if the Brazilian bull has anything to do with people calling XXL bully.
No, because the XXL bully, I would say that Hulk is an XXL bully. There's no such thing as an XXL. It's a popular name. There's not that category for the XLs in papers.
It's just a
But
marketing.
I would consider, you know, bloodlines like mega built bullies, Ellies, and Chevy line, the even the what's his name, big ballers, those are the XXLs because they're very, very big. Big ballers not as much, but these tall dogs I would consider XXLs because I do understand the classification between the classes on the American Bully are more connected to the height,
Mm.
right? Now the Brazilian Bulls, we don't have huge dogs. We do have some huge dogs, but it's not our main. It is not our main desire. Anybody will trash a dog that is big and not muscular for a dog that is a little smaller, more harmonic, but very muscular. That's not what Brazilian people want. They don't want to lose the muscle.
No, definitely. So, Ari, I know we're getting into our final hour here now, but two questions before we close it up. Where
Sure.
do you see the Brazilian Bull in 10 years?
In 10 years, I don't know. In 10 years is a little too long, but in 5 years, I think it's going to be the breed that, I mean, if somebody is willing to start, now is the time, because I think that they are becoming the new XL. They are becoming the new American Pit Bull Terrier. They are the same way that they capture the Brazilian people's heart. They're capturing the world.
Yes,
Yes.
you said it right. The world.
And I am a very big proof of it. I'm going to release a video today talking about the partnership worldwide that we're doing. I am selecting partners to become Samba Kennels in their countries and provide for them all the material, like the dogs, the mentorship, and there's only going to be one Samba Kennels representative in each country. And of course, there's a cost. It's nothing, it's a mentorship. It's going to be like a franchise. I'm going to provide them with the dogs that they need according to what they want. But I'm going to be mentoring them through the history, through the breedings and the marketing, everything. I've had in less than a month more than 50 applications from 22 countries.
Wow, that's awesome.
And that's because I haven't even really advertised it yet that much, So how do you get to that point? I mean, the breed is just, I'm not the one doing it. It's the breed itself. People love the breed. No matter how good my marketing is, you guys, if I was breeding dogs that are not appealing to the demand of the people, nobody wanted it. They are seeing the demand, and they are seeing, and they are falling in love, and they are overseeing the eyes closed together. That's what I mean. Like everybody's, you get to fall in love with them eventually.
Definitely.
And they resemble a lot the American Bulldogs. I love that.
Yes, and one thing that I found that real common is like the American Bulldog. It takes time for them to develop to be what they are, because they grow so slow. But look at them at 2, 3, 4 years old, and you're like, wow, my dog just changed completely.
And that's a huge difference from the American Bully XLs. I think that's one of their main differences from the American Bully XL. The American Bully XLs, they are beautiful, fat, chubby puppies. They look like teddy bears. And that's what I was going to say in the other question, and I sidetracked. My first puppies, everybody was laughing at me and hating on me because my puppies were so ugly. Like, compared to the XLs, they're not ugly puppies, but they were, like when you look at those posts and you see, oh my God, they are more nutrition than they need food, Compared to the XLs, people actually told me that I wasn't feeding my puppies, and I said, dude, this is a Brazilian Bull. This is not. This is a pit monster. We didn't even have that name, and they grow differently. They're very slow growing.
That's awesome. So the last question, Aurea, is what's the biggest thing breeders need to protect so the Brazilian Bull doesn't lose its identity as the breed becomes more popular?
The muscle tone.
There you go.
Breed time. Yes, the muscle expression all over the head, the traits, you know, the crazy looking eyes and the muzzle shape, the masseters, the temporal muscles, the shoulder muscles, the rear. We all have, like, all of these dogs have real powerful rears. It's so beautiful to see. They're so mobile, you know. Their dynamics is so good. There's still a lot of room for improvement still, of, you know, but like anything, the XLs in the beginning were really bad structurally, and now they're looking a lot better.
Yes.
You know.
And you know, one more question, Aurea, and it's in Spanish for our Spanish speakers, because we do have a lot of American Bulldog breeders in different countries that speak Spanish.
Oh,
But
really?
they're asking,
Cool.
yes. They're like, Aurea, ¿cuántos kilos de comida come un perro adulto y cuántos kilos de comida come un cachorro?
All right. How much of the food for an adult and how much for a puppy?
Yes.
Hola, Raúl. Buenas noches. Mucho gusto. Yo hablo un poquito español. Mis perros, no sé. Creo que aproximadamente 700 gramos los adultos, pero de buena calidad, y 400 gramos los cachorros de 4 o 5 meses.
Raúl,
But I don't measure. Yo no los mido porque le dejo comer a voluntad. Si le gusta comer más, le doy más, ¿entiende? A veces, mira, Klaus, at one point when I gave them raw, Klaus would eat 2.5 kilos sometimes of raw.
Sí.
Sí,
Raúl,
yeah, just
gracias por tu pregunta, Raúl. Ojalá Aurea contestó tu preguntas. Aurea, it was a pleasure having you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Say your social media so our audience could find you if they're interested. You know, like I said, we have American Bulldogs all over the world, Spanish countries that, you know.
Right.
Hey, you
Amazing.
guys, there's an
Guys,
opportunity.
If you guys want to know a little bit more about the Brazilian Bulls, I welcome you to also watch our lives every Thursday and on YouTube. My channel is Samba Kennels, my YouTube channel, my Facebook, and my Instagram, Samba Kennels. Entonces, amigos de todo el mundo, si quieren conocer un poquito más de los Brazilian Bulls, invito para visitar Samba Kennels en YouTube, Facebook y Instagram. Y tenemos una live todas las noches. We have a live Thursdays at 7:30 p.m.
There you go, guys. Thank you, Aurea, for everything.
Muchas gracias. Thank
Here,
you.
here. Thank you
All
so
right,
much. It was a pleasure.
Yes.
Thank
And we'll
you,
see you
guys. It
next
was very
Wednesday.
nice meeting you. I
Same
hope
here,
to see
Aurea.
you guys in a dog show sometime.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah,
for
let's
sure.
keep in touch.
Do
Thank
you-
you.
Which registry do you guys register your bulldogs with, or your American Bulldogs with?
You know what? The here in the West Coast, we use the ABA, it's American Bulldog Association, just because
Is that
they
like
host.
the main one? Is that like the main one for the American Bulldog?
Well, the main one is NKC.
Yeah,
NKC is the main
But
one.
currently, they throw a lot of shows like on the East Coast and stuff. But here, the ABA, they're the ones who are throwing the shows. Well, they do with another registry for some other dogs. But here on the West Coast, that's where the shows would be the ones hosting the shows.
Sure.
There's ABKC shows here too, but not a lot of American Bulldogs show up. So it's hard for us to just show
There
up.
was a lot of American Bulldogs in South Carolina. Well, not too many, but no, there were oldies. Never mind, there were oldies. There was like 4 oldies there.
Oh,
There's
okay.
a question there. I'm
Let me
new to
see.
the podcast. Janelle, I have an
Oh, there it
ABKC register American Bully stud. His lineage has father and grandfather grand champion. Although he's 5 years old, could he compete? Yes, he can compete. He can compete in the veteran class.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
amazing. I love
Yeah.
to see older dogs. Yes, as long as he's not neutered, go for it.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, take them to the show.
Okay. All right. Well, you have a good night and thank you again.
Thank you, guys. It was a
Thank
pleasure.
you so much.
Thank you
Pleasure
so
meeting
much.
you.
Bye bye.
Okay, bye-bye, guys.
Bye. Good night.
See you guys next Wednesday.